Good evening, everybody. What's happening with you guys tonight? What is this? What is this? So, what's happening, everybody? So, I'm sitting here and in stream. So, what's happening, everybody? Wait and see if we can get some people on here watching tonight. So, what happens if I do this? What's up, Uncle Bruno? What's happening, buddy? I got something cool to talk about tonight, man. Something that I've experienced this week myself. But let me go on and let me get some of my paid sponsors up for tonight. So first up tonight is my good friend Earl at Hopkins Design, hopkins-design.com, right there on the screen. hopkins-design.com. If you need website anything, he's got it, from print, web, logo design, photos, videos, anything you need. Earl at Hopkins-Design has got you covered. Go check him out. Next up, Legacy Bike Works right here in Manville, Texas. If you're in this part of Houston or anywhere, you can ship your bike to us, whatever. Custom audio, custom builds, metal fabrication, fiberglass fabrication, audio, air ride, center stands, all kinds of cool stuff that we can do to your bikes, man. Reach out to Legacy Bike Works on Facebook and Instagram, both. Next up, our good friends over at Indiana and Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine. Great magazine. If you're in Chicago, Illinois, Indiana, anywhere up and around that area, stop into your local bike shop, stop into your local bars, get you a copy of the magazine. It's a great publication, man. You got to check them out. Let's see. Why do I feel like I'm missing something? What the heck? Man, this is not working out the way that I want it to work out. Next up, American Drag Seats, AmericanDragSeats.com. You need custom Harley-Davidson seats. You need custom stitching. You need custom covers. Here's something I'm working on right now, just to show you guys, all hand sewn and done. Cool little ass chopper seat we're doing. You got to check us out. I just smashed my screen. Did y'all see that? Ooh, it jumped. AmericanDragSeats.com. American Drag Seats on all medias. You need a custom motorcycle seat, we have you covered. You got to check us out. Next up, is our good friends over at Jade Affiliated. JadeAF.com. Jade Affiliated on all the social media platforms. What do? They make custom wheels. Custom Harley-Davidson wheels, all the way from stock 16-inch wheels all the way up to the big 30, 32, 34-inch wheels. Custom wheels you need to get with Jade Affiliated on all the social media platforms and jadeaf.com. Sorry. It's not working out the way that I wanted it to work out. But next up, our good friends over at Urban Rides Magazine. What can you say about Daniel Roby, Jason Silman, and all the guys over there at Urban Rides Magazine? UrbanRidesMagazine.com, online subscription, coolest motorcycles, coolest magazine. Check out their sister publication, Street Chopper Magazine. Not Street Chopper, my bad, Street Bagger Magazine. All of it's online at UrbanRidesMagazine.com. And last but definitely not least, our good friends over at Hell Speed Shop. www.hellsspeedshop.com. You've got to get over there, check them out. They have the coolest flannels, coolest t-shirts, hats, everything you could want. Local mom and pop business, the Hells, Gina and Nathan Hell, owners of this stuff, man. They've got social media platforms, groups, all kinds of stuff to get their swag. They're in dealerships, they're everywhere. But the best place to go is hellsspeedshop.com to order your apparel up and get what you need, man. Great killer stuff. So what's happening, everybody? Let's see. Uncle Bruno's in the house. John Lynch is in the house. Marsha Fitzpatrick, Robert Davis. What's going on, everybody? I know there's probably a lot of you guys watching on my personal page right now. I can't address those comments on my personal page because this directly streams to the Grind Facebook page. But I will go back. I will check the messages and all of the comments and stuff on my personal page. But if you want to be active with us and read all the current comments, if you go over to the Grind Biker Build Off page on Facebook, you can join us all right here together at the same time. We can have a good time, keep up with all the comments. But anyway, what's happening, everybody? Man, we have had a long week this week. I mean, you can see my face is dirty. I'm tired. I have been literally welding and fabricating with my son all week. We've been doing good. Everything's flowing right along. Steady, staying on the grind, doing what we got to get done. It's really a cool venture. Let me see. Cool venture right here. Just to let you know. But anyway, what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight was just that, was hard work. Hard work. I know everybody says, man, we work hard. I'm on the grindstone. I am doing this day in and day out. I am kicking ass. I'm taking names. Where's the money? Where's the money? Well, here's the deal. The money will follow. It will come. If you love what you're doing, here we are, beautiful family. What's up, sir? From Mr. Cameroon. If you're doing what you love to do, whether it's building custom motorcycles, doing custom metal fabrication, making t-shirts, it doesn't matter what you do, painting bikes, doing anything, whatever you're doing, you have to enjoy what you're doing. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, then you're getting up every day going to work, and it is not something that's going to be long term. And if it is long term, you're going to be unhappy. You're going to, be unhealthy. Always thinking, always all the thoughts are going through your mind. Oh my God, I wish I could do something else. I wish I could do this. Gamble on yourself. Gamble on yourself. Start it out small. Do it part-time. Do it in your garage. Whatever it is that you want to do, do it. Just go do it. Man, we only got one life. We have to do the things we enjoy doing, or you're going to wake up and you'll be 55 and you're going to wonder where all your time went. Thank God over the last 27, almost 30 years, I've actually been doing what I want to do. The way that I want to do it. It's been trying, and I've struggled a whole lot during that time frame. But the reality is I'm still sitting here right now, not Patrick, Tim here, taking the biggest gamble here. Yeah, I know you are, brother. You got a lot of people behind you and supporting you for what you're doing also. But my whole point is that when you do these things, I've always heard these phrases, you got to fake it till you make it, and I kind of want to go over what they mean when they say fake it till you make it. So if you're going to start a business and let's just say it's motorcycle related. You guys have heard me preach for the last 6 years. Don't cornhole yourself into one corner, one style of bike, just one way of doing things. And the reason I keep saying that is because we had a customer call us last week, and he had an early 70s model Honda that seems like there's a lot of that nowadays. He had an early models Honda that he wanted to turn into a cafe racer styled, early to mid 70s. Basically, it's a restoration is what he's wanting, but while he's restoring it, he wants to make it into something else. Now, a lot of shops would be like, it's a Honda. I don't really want to work on a Honda. I don't really want to do that. I want to do a chopper build, or I want to do a bagger build, or I want to do an audio build. I spoke with the customer, discussed everything he's wanting to do. And basically all he's wanting to do is take a bike that he's had. What's up, Mr. Doug? He's wanting to take a bike that he's got and tear it down to the frame, repaint the frame, repowder coat the frame, rewire the bike, upgrade everything to make the bike as new as possible and as roadworthy as possible. Now, a lot of shops would probably end up saying, nah, man, that's not really in our wheelhouse. We don't really know that. Well, I didn't tell him that. What I told him is the truth. We haven't done one. We've worked on a lot of different bikes and done a lot of different things, but I have a community. I have a community of people. And then you've got that little thing that we're all attached to at the hip, that's got Google on it. And you can find out almost anything you want to know between YouTube and Google. You can buy your parts. You can Google how to do it. You can YouTube how to do this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, a lot of shops won't venture out of their comfort zones to do things. We told the customer, hey, look, here's the deal. For motorcycles, it's $100 an hour. That's what we charge. We're like a lawyer. We're going to be honest with you. We're going to work through it. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll do whatever, as long as you're willing to pay for our time to invest in restoring this bike for you. Plus, there's going to be, he said, let me know when you take that in so I can shut my phone off. Well, Brian, I love you, bro, but you would be the last person I would call if I was going to restore a 1972 to 74 Honda. I don't know that you do Hondas. I am not saying that you don't, but you definitely would not have been at the top of my list when I worked on that. But anyway, but my point is that when you talk to the customer about it and you explain to them what you're doing, you have to take into consideration, first of all, I've never worked on this exact bike before. Second of all, I'm going to have to do research. Third of all, there's going to be pieces and parts and things that I may have, struggle in getting, locating, get them, and you may have to upgrade things to things that you didn't think about. So that's why I told the customer, hey, bring the bike over. Let's look at the bike. I want to see the bike. And while you're here, I want to do a little bit of Google research and find some different things out. I want to bet some money on that, laugh my ass off. Pictures or it didn't happen, Brian. Pictures or it didn't happen. But my whole point is that if you're honest with your customers and you explain to your customers, by the time the process is actually done restoring this bike, I mean, I'm not having to do welding. I'm not having to do fabrication. I'm not having to do certain things that would make it custom. So you're looking at a product that's already together, and then the bike already runs. That was the other good part. But one thing he had an issue with was his transmission. He said, I don't know about the transmission. If you do take it on, you need to know Tommy Summers. I just said that, guys. Look, you got to have people. Well, Gary Dubois just said right there in the comments, if you do take it on, you need to know Tommy Summers. Apparently, Tommy Summers knows something about these bikes. So you would call him. You would open your network up, swallow your pride, open work, and be vulnerable or willing to discuss the project with people that know what you don't know. Now, a lot of builders that I personally know would never do that. And if they did do that, they would never admit that they do that because they know everything. And they don't want to be looked at as like they don't know everything because they built up this persona. Well, thank you, Tanya. And also, thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. But my whole point is that you get people that are like, I wouldn't do that. Or they'll be like, no, I'm better than that. I'm not better than that. I'm not. But what I enjoy doing is things like that. I wanted to do the Honda. I want to talk to the customer. I want to do the research. I want to restore the Honda. I want to do that because if you set that Honda right next to the bagger that we're building, and you set that bagger right next to the chopper that we're building, that's 3 completely separate beasts, but they're all motorcycles. And you put that up there and you let people know, hey, we do these things. It may take you time. It may take, a couple of years, but once you get known for doing, once you get known for doing things like that, where your scope is pretty big on motorcycles, you're going to get more work. Again, someone I've talked to in great depth about this is Doug Kime. Doug Kime has a very, I use the word strict, but it's just a business plan that works, and it's a good business plan for him. But Doug opened his first shop in 1977, not trying to throw him under the bus by letting you all know his age. But if you think about the math, 77 to 87, 97, 07, 17, that's 40 years right there, plus 7 more. So he's been in this game for 47 years. If you don't think he's done custom, you're crazy. If you don't think he's done maintenance, you're crazy. If you don't think he's built just about everything on 2 wheels, you're crazy. The way that he explains how he does his work is, their problem is not my problem, and I can't make their problem my problem. I can only help them fix their problem. But that doesn't mean I'm going to work for free. It means I'm going to charge you accordingly about what I'm going to do. What's up, Mr. Greg? And it's a good thing, and it's really hard when you start in business to have that, what I call arrogance, which it's not really arrogance, when you have that confidence in your abilities and your money and this, that, and the other. When you have the confidence to look a customer in the eye and say, hey, this is my price. I won't do it for less than that. If you need less than that, you need to take your business somewhere else. It's hard when you're first starting in business, even up to the first 5 years. It's hard to look a customer in the eye and say, this is my price. If you don't like my price, go down the road, because the potential of losing the job when you need the money, it's threatening. It's threatening to your mind, your body, your soul, because you're like, I need that money, man, but I got to get paid, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and they were telling me about a job they were fixing to take on, and they just said flat out 50 grand, and that's the end of it. And it's just gotten to the point where, and I hate to say this because I am that troll on Facebook. I'm admitting it, people. Y'all hearing me out? I'm the troll that when someone makes a post, they make a post like this. Hey, does anybody know a fence contractor out there on the cheap? I cringe when I hear that. Or does anybody know anybody that, can do a deep cleaning on my house but won't charge me an arm and a leg? I cringe when I see those posts, because here, let me explain this to you. When somebody posts up, hey, I need this service done, give me the cheapest amount of money that I have to pay to have that service done. I'm the troll. I'm the troll. I'm admitting it. I'm the guy that will go on that post and I will comment, how much do you make an hour at your job? Well, how's that any of your business? Well, you're asking this person to negotiate their pay to do something you're too fucking lazy to do. I said it. But you want them to do it for cheap. How about you get up and go to work, and instead of making $30 an hour, how about you go there and make 12? And let's see what your opinion is at the end of the day when you're used to making X amount of dollars, but yet they want you on the cheap. That irritates the shit out of me when people do that. Hey man, does anybody know where I can get a 30-inch wheel for $500? No, you dumbass, because the materials cost more than $500. Why does everybody always put it out there? Can I get it for the cheapest? Can I get it for the cheapest? Can I get it for the cheapest? But then when they want to charge somebody, it's an arm and a leg. How about this? How about you do what I do. And this is a true statement, and I can give you a list of people I've done it with. How about you call them and you say, hey, I need this service performed. What is your price to do this? When they spit you out a price, you either agree to pay them the price or you say, hey, that's out of my price range or out of my budget. Thank you for your time. I apologize. How about you just be honest with them? How about you just say it? How about you just, instead of trying to, cut them down and get them to negotiate a price, how about you just admit you can't afford them and move on to someone you can afford? How about not beat them up? How about not push them down? How about not try to get them to negotiate? Because here's what I say. Let me show you guys something. This right here. This is a seat that I'm doing for a chopper. Now, that doesn't look like that big a deal to stitch that. But let me show you guys the back. That's 2 sets of stitching. It's not one. I don't have a dual head machine. I have a single head machine. When I tell a customer how much this costs, and they're like, okay, well, how much to redo my solo seat? It's going to be $650. You want the double diamonds in it, this, that, and the other. I got to do the foam work. Oh, come on, man. You can do it. Seriously, $600? That seems like a lot of money. I instantly tell them, okay, what are you willing to pay? Okay, get rid of the diamonds, get rid of the foam work. I'm just going to put the simplest, cheapest black materials on it, and I'll do it for that price. Well, no, I don't want that. I want the good material. I want the double diamonds. I said, you want the best of what I've got to offer you, but you're not willing to pay the best for what I've got to offer you. So you need to go find somebody that doesn't do what I do. You need to go find somebody that's within your budget. But don't sit here and beat me up over my prices, because my prices are realistic. My prices are based on my time frame. And don't get me wrong, people, it's taken me 27 years to get to the point to be confident in my work and what I'm capable of, and tell the customers, I'm not going to negotiate my prices because you won't negotiate the quality. You want something, you got to pay for something. And that's hard when you first start a business. It's real hard. It's real easy to talk to the journeyman that's been doing it half his life, and they've built up a reputation. That's scary. But those are the people you need to be listening to, because those are the people that have been doing it the longest. They're the ones that actually understand. Not every customer is for you. He said, I hang up on them. Greg Phillips, I have lowballed myself before being a nice guy. Not anymore. I just won't do it. My time is more valuable. Yes, it is more valuable. And here's the funny thing. So let's say you have a painter, and I'll use Brian Barber as an example. There's 2 sides to Brian Barber as a painter. And this is something I see from the outside. This is not something he's told me, even though we've discussed this to great detail. This is my take on Brian Barber. So there's 2 sides of Brian Barber. There's the Brian Barber that's going to give you a price because of you're a builder and you're sending him multiple paint jobs. And then there's the Brian Barber that some random guy calls him and says, hey man, I heard you paint. What will you charge me for a paint job? Okay, those are 2 different scenarios right there. You've got what I call wholesale and retail. If a bike shop is bringing you 3 or 4, 5 paint jobs a year, they're going to get a different price. It doesn't mean they're getting a cheaper price. They're going to get a different price because that one shop is bringing in multiple bikes, as opposed to the individual customer bringing one bike one time. Now, one bike one time can lead to a long-term relationship if the guy buys another bike or has friends, which we all know bikers have a lot of friends, that they see the quality, they see this, they see that. But when you take Brian Barber and the shop, which is already getting what I would call a wholesale price, when a shop starts talking about, oh man, I can't pay you that, I got to make some money on this. Okay, how much money do you need to make? Okay, if the paint job hypothetically is $1,000 and the shop's like, well, god dang, dude, I got to make 1,500, or I got to make at least 500 on that. I would tell that shop right then, don't want your business. You're making more money on this paint job than me, the painter, If I'm charging you $1,000 to paint this bike, that means I've probably got $200 or $300 in materials, which means I'm making $500 to $700 in my pocket. But after I pay taxes on that $500 to $700, I'm bringing home $400 or $500. And you mean to tell me you want to mark it up $500 and make more money on my service than I am? Hit the brakes. I won't do business for a dealership like that either. But then you get the customer, the actual customer that says, well, man, you painted my buddy's bike for this. Are you getting the exact same paint job? Is it the exact same bike? If you're getting the exact same bike with the exact same paint job, then man, you get that. You can have it for that price. But that's not what you're getting. You're getting something totally different. And even though it's a Road King or a Road Glide or a Street Glide or a whatever, it's still going to be different. There's more body work involved in yours. There's this, that, and the other. My whole point is that at some point in your life, you have to decide, is my time worth money? And yes, your time is. Everybody's time is. Yeah, but I'm going to tell everyone you painted this and you're going to get good advertising. How many times have y'all heard that? I've got a story about that right there. Hold on 2 seconds. Let me finish up with Brian. So when a customer asks you point blank to negotiate your price, the first thing you should tell him is, okay, are you going to negotiate the quality? There might be fish eyes in it. There might be runs in it. There might be, what does Brian call delaminating? I think it's called, where the clear pops up or bubbles, or where the paint might come off. If you're willing to accept all those flaws and all I got to do is run in there and just and shoot it out the door, yeah, I'll do it for your discounted price. But the bad thing is customers are not willing to negotiate a quality for the price. And I've had to deal with that in 27 years. I can tell you right now, 5 customers in 27 years have done me that way to one degree or another. And they're the 5 customers that taught me the most. They taught me, don't negotiate, because they're not going to negotiate on the quality. They want what they want, then they need to pay what it costs to get what they want. If they can't pay for what they want, then they don't get what they want. And that is not my fault. That means you just want more than you can afford. Done. Doesn't make you a bad person. Doesn't make you a bad businessman. I would much rather walk away from a customer than I would to have a customer with a headache. Customers are supposed to be easy. Customers are supposed to be understanding. It's supposed to be, hey, I want this service. How much do you want to complete the service? Okay, I'll pay you for your service. You do their job. You put your effort into it. You give them what they paid for. They go on. And if they like you enough, they're going to send their friends because the overall interaction was good. One thing about me, and I've heard this from every single customer, even the couple of headaches I've had, I've even heard from those customers, my customer service is the best they've ever had in any type of dealings they've ever had. Buying houses, buying clothes, restaurants. My customer service, when I say customer service, I'm always there. I always take your phone call. If I can't take your phone call, I send you a text. If I can't reply to your text, I get to you as fast as I possibly can. I don't blow anybody off because I know how that feels. So everybody has always told me my customer service is amazing. Okay. I don't need to pat on the back for it because that's the way business is supposed to be. When you go to purchase something or you go to get something, you're hoping that, hey, I drop this off, I'm going to get this done to it. If it takes a little bit longer than anticipated, at least when I call the person, they reply and they're like, hey, this happened or that happened, but I am on it and I will get it done in the next couple of days, the next week or two, or the next month or so. They stay in communication. So there's an open line of communication between yourself and your customer. The bad thing is a lot of builders and a lot of businesses don't have that mentality. They treat every customer like they're nobody. Like they're just a number. It's just a numbers game, which I get it to a degree, but you should have somebody in place in your organization that talks to your customers, that handles it. And especially if you're a big Fortune 500 company or Fortune 100 company, and you've got hundreds and hundreds of employees, I get it. Because at that point, your phone calls, your revenue, your customers or hundreds of thousands of people. I get it at that point. But if you're a painter or a bike builder or a seat upholsterer or a chromer or an engraver, and I'm just saying that because I see everybody online, if you're those people, you should be your own customer service. You should be the guy taking the calls, weeding the problems, doing the things. And for the most part, I see people do that. But I also see people make a lot of excuses when things don't go right. One of the biggest downfalls in today's workforce, and you're not going to believe me, but I'm going to tell you the truth. One of the biggest downfalls in today's workforce is the cell phone. The cell phone. That is the number one thief of time. I'm guilty of it. I've gotten to the point now, if I have a lot of work to do, I literally will leave my phone upstairs or in my office. Because if I have to get work done, I'm not going to be on the phone anyway. And if I don't have the phone sitting in my hand, then I don't have the distraction of getting on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I'm more focused on getting my work done because I don't have that device in my hand. A lot of businesses do that. And they're like, oh man, well, I'm going to take a break. It's hot outside. And they sit on their phone, and 45 minutes later, they look up. They're like, oh shit, I've been on my phone for 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have. You have. And the bad thing is, it's nobody's fault but your own, because you're paying more attention to your phone than your job, than the time frame, which I said that last week on the show, is about your time management. Time management, man, that's one of the hardest parts of business, is managing your time to get things done the way they need to be done. No doubt, if you think social media is bad, buy stock and download the stock app, right? Unfortunately, I've had so much bad customer service in the past few years. I've had to be very stern with the lack of service from companies. Yes, Uncle Bruno, you have to. And then when you do that right out of the gate, the company you're going to has a choice to make. Do I want to deal with this customer, or would I rather push them on down the road? I'm at the point now, and everybody that knows me close knows I have a Camaro that I don't know that I'm ever going to get my Camaro back. I don't know that I'm ever going to actually have a Camaro that I can ride in, but they don't care. They don't care about you, your car, your motorcycle, It's just like, what the fuck, But I think honestly, if you come out of the gate realistic and stern, like Uncle Bruno said, you might get treated differently. That's the bad part about me, is I'm friendly and I'm nice. And I think a lot of people, especially people with my Camaro, they take that as a sign of weakness for me. Like, oh, well, he's a pushover. He's no big deal. If I'd have gone in there fucking being an ass and being mean and like, you're going to do this, being very stern, I probably would have had a different outcome. She said, where's my soap? I'm sorry, Nancy. I know. I'm actually trying to curb my cussing. It has come to my attention from my wife and my kid that I cuss too much, and I need to cut it out. Need to cut it down some. But anyway, so my whole point is that, and the other thing is when you're online all the time, is you also see other companies out there doing something, and you're like, man, why not me? Why can't I have that much business? Why can't I do as good as they do? Why can't I? Okay, so there's a couple of factors when you see somebody that's really successful, or a company that's really successful, or something like that. There's typically only three reasons they're going to be as successful they are. One, the very first one, they worked so hard in the beginning that they established and built such a reputation and such a high quality for their work that people are willing to wait in line, willing to pay for it, and do whatever they want to get it. The second way is they had somebody invest in them enough money that they were able to do enough work to get it out there so that people would want to use them. Or the third one is they've been doing it so freaking long that all the years they put behind, and I'm not saying a 5 year or a 10 year, I'm talking someone that's been doing something for 20, 30 years, because it takes a long time to establish a good reputation. It takes a long time to establish good customer service and a good customer base and all these things. That takes a lot of time. That's the only three ways you're going to get to the point where people are going to look at you and be like, man, that dude, he's killing the game. It just takes a long time. I know of bike shops that have been in business for the last 5 to 10 years that today they're still struggling. And I would love to say I know why they're struggling, but you don't ever really know unless they open up and they tell you the truth. I can paint a picture looking from the outside at certain shops and say, well, I can tell you this is probably why that shop isn't doing what they could be doing. Or I could maybe their money's not right because they're not doing this part of their business correctly. I can tell you that. You know, nobody can fix your business but you, because you're the king. You've got the horse by the reins. You're the one directing the ship. You're the one doing what you're doing. It's up to you to fix it. That's why I keep telling you guys, I say it almost every show. If you need to talk, call me. If you need to discuss something, send me a message. Send Uncle Bruno a message. When you talk to people about what you're doing and you're not afraid to tell the truth, you're not afraid to say, man, I did this, man, I did that, man, I did this. This is how I'm doing this. This is how I'm doing that. This is how I'm doing. When you're not afraid to talk and you're actually there to tell the truth, man, you can get people, and you're going to find out most everybody goes through it, and everybody's got a success story and everybody's got a failure story. I personally have owned 1, 2, 3, 4 companies. 4 companies. I've helped 2 more companies get established directly close to me. I thought the first company was awesome. I thought the first company was going to make me a millionaire. I thought the first company was going to be my end all be all job. Well, after 10 years of doing that, I sold it because I wanted to be out of it. I wanted to be away from it. I thought the second company, which was, a vinyl repair company for restaurants, I thought that company was going to just explode and I was going to have work and have trucks and employees. I ended up giving that company to one of the employees I had. My third company I still do right now today, which is American Drag Seats. I thought that company was just going to be the bomb. I just thought it was going to be the best thing in the world. I've done work for NASA. I've done work for people in Qatar. I've done work for people in, at least 5 different countries. I've done work for TV stars. I've done work for rock stars. I've done work for, TV shows. I've been on the TV shows. Am I getting rich doing motorcycle seats? No, I'm not. The last company, I'm hoping and praying that the last company is the one that actually grows and does everything I've wanted the other 3 companies to do. It's all we hope for, is that we can take our companies and take our businesses and grow them to a point to where they actually are lucrative, where they actually are bigger than we are. That's what everybody's hope is. Unless you're an artist. You're by yourself. You will always be by yourself, and you will always be working on your next art project. Now, those are the guys that can become megastars. The reason I say they become megastars is because everybody knows somebody that has, a Chip Foose, a Doug, what's his name? Something Kindig. We all know these guys. The Tuttles, and a lot of people hate the Tuttles, but the reality is those guys are celebrities. They're part of American pop culture, and if you are a bike builder and you frown upon those guys, you're just a hater. That's what you are, because in the reality of the big scheme of things, Jesse James started everything. The Tuttles were able to grab on at the beginning and make a whole different part. And whether their bikes are roadworthy, whether they're, they're art pieces, it doesn't matter. They build custom motorcycles to such a degree that they're famous for it. You can't hate them for that. Those are artists. Those guys don't have their doors open doing oil changes, doing repairs, custom bikes. They don't do that. They have a very high-end niche clientele that wants a certain something, and they're willing to pay a real lot of money for it. And hats off to them for doing that. That's awesome, because that makes the culture of motorcycles even better. Better for seat guys, better for bike builders, better for chrome platers, better for engravers. But back to the individual, you need to understand that your time frame and your time management is going to have a lot to do with your success. And these things right here are thieves. That's what they are. They're thieves. I'm telling you, because I'm guilty of it. It happens to me on a regular basis. But I will say this: get up early. For me, I get up, I pray. As soon as I'm done praying, I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, take my medicine, go to the bathroom, I get dressed, and I go to the gym. Work out at the gym, get done with the gym, go straight to work. Some days I am slammed busy at work, and some days I have nothing to do, but I go to work and I make an effort. I show up, I'm there, I participate. In case we get a customer call for a quote, we need to get a quote for materials, we need to do this, whatever it is, I show up as if I've got something to do all day. That's where the fake it till you make it part is. If you put yourself in a position to where you're already doing it, then when it's time to do it, you're already accustomed to doing it, you're done. You half the battle's over with. I'm not a titty dancer. Titty dancers have a whole different schedule and they make a whole buttload of money. And you're asking me why? Well, why would you say that? Well, because most business happens between the hours of 6 a.m. and 5 p.m. That's business hours. If a bank hours is 9 to 5, that's still a working 8-hour day. 7 to 4, me 6 to 3. Business happens during the day. Unless you work in a titty bar or you're a bartender or you're a waitress, then you got schedules that are much later, and that's different. Or you're a musician. Hell, musicians, man, that's a life, isn't it? I'd love to do that stuff. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys are hearing me when I talk to you, because I'm trying to give you guys diamonds. We're in an election year. Business is down for everybody. And if it's not down for you, you better be thinking you're lucky stars, because business is down for everyone. A lot of people I talk to, they're not making the same money they were 4 years ago. And I'm not saying that because of politics. I'm saying it because we have a cycle of every 4 years where business dives down, and you got to hold on for this year until we get next year. We all know what it's like, and this is my opinion. We all know what it's like to have Sleepy Joe in there, but we all still made money this year. We didn't get rich. We paid a lot of money. We've been struggling. We're hoping for something different in 2025 to boost this economy back up, get people spending money again, and get us where we want to be. But the reality is it happens every 4th year. You get what we're going through right now. It'll be gone. Okay. It'll be different. All you got to do is your part. Your part is get up, participate, work out your time frames, have some good customer service, and just enjoy what you're doing. If you don't enjoy what you're doing and you hate it, it's going to show. It's going to show in your work. It's going to show in your attitude. It's going to show in everything. I take a lot of slack for the way that I am and the stuff that I do, but at the end of the day, I'm happy. I'm not as happy as I was 4 years ago. I'll tell you that right now. But I know where I'm going. I can see the direction. I know what I'm shooting for, and I'm going to go make that happen. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. But anyway, please go over to the YouTube channel, subscribe, the Facebook page, subscribe, and just share the videos. That's the most I could ask from you, is just share the videos. The next thing I'm going to ask you, if you have a topic or something you would love to see discussed on this show, all you got to do is message me or Uncle Bruno. Because I'm going to tell you guys, here in the near future, me and Uncle Bruno are going to get on here and we're going to be doing this together, because there's some stuff that I want to discuss and some things I want to do. And I think it would be good to have Uncle Bruno on here. He's very, smart. He's part of this industry, but he's on a different side of the industry. So it would be good. But if you guys have topics y'all want me to discuss on this show, please let me know. I would be more than happy. Before I close the show tonight, I was going to close a little bit early. I want to let you know I have a good friend that is an immigration lawyer. It's not motorcycle related, but if you guys would actually like to know what's going on with the border from someone that deals with immigration law, man, let me know, because I can get her on this show. And you want to talk and you want to learn, you want to really know what's going on with the border, she's the one. She's the one that would let you know. And I spoke to her the other day, and I'll tell you right now, man, she opened my eyes to a lot of what was going on. And it was really, really, really pretty cool to hear somebody that wasn't red, wasn't blue, wasn't left, wasn't right. Someone just telling you the actual truth about what's going on. What did Brian say? How about Rich Cozy's bullshit half-assed told story he posted? Can we talk about that? So, Brian, I would love to say, yes, we can talk about that. But I'm going to talk about it with the people involved, because if I don't talk about it with the people involved, which would be Rich Cozy and the other party, if I don't talk to them, then all I'm doing is stirring the pot to just get people to watch the show. And I don't want to do that. And you don't want me to do that either. You know damn good and well it affects people. But I do agree that if either one of those parties wants to come on and discuss that, I would be more than happy to discuss that on the platform for everybody to know, for everybody to understand this shit can happen to anyone. Good, bad, indifferent. This shit can happen to anyone. But anyway, y'all want to talk about stuff, send me a message. We'll work it out. But you guys go have a kick-ass night, and we'll see you all next week. And see, I didn't even chew my ice tonight. I just took a couple swallows. Anyway, y'all go have a kick-ass week. We'll talk later.